Yo, what is going on, ladies, gentlemen, whatever you choose to identify as? It is your boy Cam, and back at it again with another episode of our weekly nerd culture podcast, Attack on Culture. If you are new, you clicked on this video because you just happened to see it in the algorithm. One, shout out to the algorithm. But two, this is, again, our weekly nerd culture podcast. We talk about latest things going on, anime, video games, comic books, movies, you name it. We're talking about it. I am joined by my co-host, Trail Sav. Go ahead and say what's up to the people.
What's poppin', killers? What's poppin'?
Yeah. So we are back. Got a fairly good podcast episode for you to get today. We're going to talk about a serious situation that we need to address. And I'll make sure to put the disclaimer when we're about to delve into that topic. But we're also going to be talking about his award seasons, the Golden Joystick Awards. We got the Game Award nominees. And we're going to be continuing on our series where we do a retrospective look on all of the previous Game of the Years. So last week we covered, I believe, 2016 and 2017. So this year we're going to be talking about 2018, 2019, which are some crazy years in gaming. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But before we get into that, be sure to show this video some love, y'all. Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Click on that bell icon so that notified of all future posts that we make on this channel. And share the video across all your fellow nerds. Help us get to 1K sub, guys. That is our goal for the end of this year. Be sure to check out all of the other content that is available on our channel. So we have Gotcha on the Gotcha. And I have been taking a little bit of hiatus from Gotcha on the Gotcha. Your boy, I burnt myself out doing a lot of stuff. So I had to take a step back, you know what I'm saying? And just let things sizzle down. But we're going to be picking things up for this week, obviously. So Monday, as you are seeing this video, so we're recording this on Sunday. This is going to go up on a Monday. I will be doing a video on Honkai Star Rail. The Pure Fiction refresh is happening. Then later on this week, we have the Triple Z 2.4 patch that's coming out. So going to be doing a video with summons for the new character and showcasing how they play in gameplay. So, and some other things too. We do also, I might, because right now their Uma Musume's PvP event is going on. So depending on how things go, I may make a video of my experience doing that because I am in the midst of doing that right now. And I do want to showcase the sweaty side of how I be playing that game because a lot of y'all gonna be mad when that game is in my top 10 list of games this year. But again, just tune into that stuff. Gotcha on the Gotcha is coming back. I'm done with my little hiatus. We also have Views from the Couch, which is a series that Detroit and I do. We do have a little bit into games that we are not able to necessarily cover on the podcast. In our latest video, we did Ghost of Yotei. I know it's November, but hey, if you haven't checked it out and you want to hear our thoughts and opinion on Ghost of Yotei, check that out. And we got some other videos related to that series coming down the pipeline. So tune in to that. And last but not least, we also have our sports culture podcast, Threes from the Ring. So Detro, go ahead, tell the people, you know what I'm saying, what y'all talked about last episode and what's coming up then for the next episode, just in case they're interested.
Last episode, really small episode. So if you haven't listened to it, it's a quick little listen. We got out, just really talked about basketball. We talked about Steph Curry leaving Under Armour and his garbage shoes. We talked about LeBron, and he finally came back with the Lakers. Tonight would be Bron's second game coming back, so we'll definitely talk about that more a bit later this week. And just really about basketballs and our thought on the season so far. And yeah, just be on the lookout for it. And again, thank you guys for supporting us when it comes to videos and clips and all that type of stuff. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to give a huge shout out to people who showed some love on our last episode of Attack on Culture. Y'all showed up and showed out, and we appreciate y'all. And shout out to the PC players who are now console fanboys. Appreciate y'all too.
Love y'all, man. Welcome to the dark side.
So, all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, in a shocking twist of events, this is unprecedented territory. Trail and I don't have any games to talk about this week. It really is just, we just been playing, catching up, really just doing a lot of backlog, catching up. Trail was working on a little project that, you guys will be able to see pretty soon. So he has that going on, and I'm just catching up playing Digimon and stuff like that. So we don't really have much as far as game impressions or reviews are concerned, but Obviously, that'll change. I believe next week or the week after, there are some games coming down that I definitely am going to be playing and give you my thoughts on it. So stick around for that. However, I do want to talk about one thing. So I went to the movies yesterday and I went and saw The Running Man. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So this is another adaptation of a Stephen King novel. So it's kind of funny being the two big Stephen King novels this year being The Long Walk into The Running Man. I don't know who was in charge of marketing that, but that's pretty funny. I was definitely looking forward to this movie because, for one, Glenn Powell who is the main actor of this movie. He plays the main character. He's slowly becoming like one of my favorite kind of actors in recent years. I know he's been in a lot of other things, but like he's like one of those actors where like if I see he's in a movie, I'm willing to check it out. So I was looking forward to this movie. I wanted to see it on my birthday weekend, but just didn't have the time to do it. So was able to see it this weekend. Just give my quick thoughts and impressions on it. There's been a lot of, from what I can gather, because I did a little bit of, seeing some of the people's reviews and thoughts of the movie, seems to be kind of in between. A lot of people are like, man, it's not really that good, but a lot of people are like, it's pretty cool. I'm of the mindset, I think it's an okay film. Now, if you're gonna like tell me if I'm gonna compare this to The Long Walk, if you were like, oh, do you recommend that I see The Long Walk or The Running Man? Long Walk, 100%. That movie is absolutely freaking amazing. The Running Man it's a good film. A lot of these two movies that have come out, a lot of social commentary. You have like, The Long Walk more so dealing with a lot of kind of the things when it comes to wartime and patriotism and how that relates to a lot of, soldiers and things of that nature. If you know anything about The Long Walk, the actual novel itself. So there you have that. Whereas The Running Man has a lot of social commentary on the media, propaganda, how it affects mass society into believing a certain narrative over what the actual truth is. So if you're somebody who's like everything is woke nowadays, you don't want to see it, then obviously this film is not for you. But if you're somebody who is okay with kind of that is dystopian future, basically the main character, Glenn Powell, has a wife, has a daughter who is sick, they're broke, and basically he wants to go enter a game so that he can win some money so he can get his daughter some fair treatment, and also potentially move his family out from the slums, because there's a clear divide between the slums and where all the rich people live. So he wants a better life for his family. So at first he's like, I'm not doing The Running Man because The Running Man is an impossible challenge. You cannot beat it. Basically, 3 people are chosen. You have to survive 30 days while these people called hunters are hunting you down, and also civilians can report you to also get money. So you're running away from there. If you happen to survive all 30 days, you win $1 billion. So, but the contest, nobody has won the competition at all through all the seasons that it's been on. So he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to enter into one of these other game shows that he's been watching that he thinks he can win a fair amount of money to help his daughter's treatment. He gets in there, and ultimately the head producer of the show is like, nah, you're entering The Running Man because we think you're the perfect candidate. He signs up for it, and basically that's how the rest of the movie continues on. So I'm not going to go into super deep spoilers, but I think it's a good watch. It's nothing like, holy crap, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I think if you want to catch this on a discount Tuesday, or if whenever this goes out into streaming services, I think it's worth decent watch, if you want to put something on the TV. So all in all, solid film. And if I were to give it a rating, I give it a strong 6 out of 10. I was going to say the other word, but you guys aren't going to trick me into saying that other number. So it's a solid 6 out of 10. And I recommend you go out and see it if you have the option to do so. So that's it for The Running Man. And that's pretty much it for as far as like what we've been doing throughout the week. So we're going to move ahead into the news. I know we're actually moving into the news fairly early, which is crazy for this podcast. So definitely so first thing on the news, I'm gonna get a little serious here, folks. Now I do chapter all these videos, so we're gonna get into, if you're not really interested in, you have very sensitive to things when it comes to unaliving and other things of that nature, feel free to skip ahead to the next topic that we cover in the news segment of this podcast. But we here at Talking Culture, we're Black, and we want to talk about this issue because it's something that needs to be addressed. So for a bit of context on the issue, so it was recently, this past week, it was announced via, I believe it was Twitter, one of their friends, a cosplayer, Black cosplayer by the name of Squid Kid 11111, 4 1s, 11, however you want to say it, Ashley. I'm going to say the word because I know YouTube doesn't like this word, but committed suicide. And there's a lot of speculation. So I'm not going to get into the actual, like, as far as the Squid Kid stuff is concerned, because there's a lot of speculations. There's no archer. There's a lot of people claiming that it's due to bullying and also racism within the cosplay community. And then there's people who claim to know her personally, who's like, no, it's a lot deeper than that. But obviously they're not going to divulge their personal life like that. So again, lots of speculation, but I do think that this incident does bring about a conversation that needs to be had in regards to the cosplay community itself. So first and foremost, rest in peace to Ashley, prayers to their friends, loved ones, close friends and families. Definitely praying for you, because it is definitely never a good thing to hear somebody doing something like that. So definitely thoughts and prayers for you guys. But as far as the cosplay community is concerned, even if it like turns out that that's not the root cause or whatever, it was true that they were facing that type of harassment online. And so here's a cold take, the coldest take known to man, Sub-Zero take. Cosplaying is for everyone. Period. If a man wants to cosplay as Tifa, that's perfectly okay. If you have a problem with that, consult your sexuality. May want to have a conversation with that. I don't think that it's right to gatekeep anything or tell anybody that they're not allowed to showcase their passion or love for a character by wanting to dress up as them in real life, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, whatever. Everyone is free to dress as they want to. And I know there are going to be some people who like, I bet you'd have a problem if a white man were to dress as Black Panther. I don't care. Who cares? When when the MCU movie came out, everybody was saying Wakanda forever. Who cares? Obviously, there's some people who are trying to gatekeep it, but I'm not interested in even having that conversation. If a white man wants to dress up as Black Panther, it's okay. Guess what? I'm not someone who's like, to kind of give another analogy. I'm not gonna tell a white person that Black Panther is. You're not allowed to have Black Panther as your favorite hero. It's because you're white. He can't be your favorite hero of all time. Like, come on, dog, be real with it. So that you're not gonna walk up to a little kid on Halloween who's dressed up as Peter Parker and tell them, hey, little Timmy, you're not allowed to be Spider-Man because you're not a white man from New York City whose parents died when they were young and you witnessed your uncle dying. Let people use their creativity, their passion, their imagination to be who they want to be. You're cosplaying as fictional characters that don't exist. It's never that deep. And especially when it comes to Black people within the cosplay community who continuously get ridiculed for dressing up as their favorite characters because their skin is dark. Like, stop being corny, dude. Cool. If it's, it's cool to see someone who dresses up as Tifa from Final Fantasy VII who looks exactly like her and it's like, oh wow, that's cool. But in the same mantra, that doesn't mean that nobody else can do it and still be cool and awesome to look at. So I think that gatekeeping within the cosplay community, y'all are corny. We don't need y'all. Please go somewhere else. And I know what I'm saying is kind of hypocritical because I'm gatekeeping in terms of the gatekeep, but like, I think, again, situations like this, it shouldn't be an issue. It should be something that we're really talking about because you're dressing up as fictional characters. So again, rest in peace to Ashley Squid Kid, and to the cosplay community, to the people who are definitely people who are looking at this situation and having this honest conversation about the state of the community and how it relates to people of all color, all sexes, or whatever. Continue to have that conversation, to continue to push people who are being racist, homophobic, misogynistic, push them out of the community. We don't need them here, and have fun expressing yourselves when it comes to this medium. So that's all I have to say. Detrell, do you have anything to add?
I mean, I think you hit everything on the nail of the head. This stuff shouldn't even be, talked about. I mean, it shouldn't happen. I know things is deeper, probably the reason why she did what she did is probably deeper, but within the cosplay community, this is something that we should have been got past. You know what I mean? It's been going on forever since cosplay became even a bigger hobby. And, people at this point, I don't even think when people go on the internet and they what's it called, and they try to bully people for what they wearing and stuff like that. Half of the time, to be honest with you, I don't even think they actually care about what this person wearing. Most of the time, I think they just use this as an opportunity to show their bigotry and things. Bro,
Oh yeah.
It's just one that, and I don't know why the friend community, if I'm even saying this right, Freeman, I think it's my bad.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why they are so, well, I wouldn't say the community itself, but a lot of people within that community are so like gung-ho on, like they near white purity at this point. But it happened with a cosplayer who cosplayed Freeman, and she looked amazing.
It was a great cosplay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and she kept her hair regular or curly and stuff like that, and people had their opinions on it. And I'm like, what's the point? She did it. The pictures I take it.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. So
she's an elf.
Yeah, I mean, no. And that's really much it on my take on it. I think it's sad, and I think there's a conversation to be had. But there's also people, the community have to start rooting this stuff out. Yeah, but I don't think the community actually cares. And I think there's a lot of jealousy when it comes to especially Black creators getting love on the internet for their, their cosplays and stuff like that. Because they don't have to change their skin to look great. You know what I mean? And people come up, and people will come up and be like, oh, well, I can't, change my skin black. The funny thing is about that, quote unquote blackface, or, the funny thing is about that, say for instance, blackface wasn't as historically frowned upon, as bad as it is. Say for instance, people, all right, cool, do blackface. You do blackface, and it's not necessarily you just turning your skin to the color of the character you want to be. You do it, and then you gotta throw some type of racist microaggression in it while you're doing the blackface. Or you're, instead of her holding a grimoire, she gonna hold an ABT card or something like that. That's something that you would do when you cosplay these characters, because deep down in their heart, they have this either superiority complex or inferiority complex that they have within themselves, in their culture and in their race. So it shouldn't be a conversation. Ain't nobody disrespecting these characters. You know what I mean? Nobody disrespecting the art that these people made. When they're
showcasing their love for that.
Exactly. When the people who do the One Piece cosplays, they got full body hockey on. Haha. The first time they said it funny, but now it's kind of like that's all you got. Like at this point, get better at your racism jokes. At least make them like decent. You know what I'm saying? So,
and nobody's going up, even if you happen to be white or whatever. And we're not necessarily I'm not specifically targeting white people. It's just a lot of people are so gung-ho about accuracy within the character that like, okay, cool. You dressed up as Doflamingo, but you're not 7'11". So like I can like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you dressed up as Guts, but you are nowhere near Guts frame. You dressed up as Goku, but I can see your beer belly. You dressed up as whoever. You dressed up as Jotaro and you 5'6". Like you standing next to me and you Jotaro. Like, mind you, I wanna let you know this too. It's probably not even the white folks. I want to keep it being. With this racism stuff, bro, that's a 10. And now I can't TikTok clip it because it most likely will get taken down. That's a 10. There's some Argentinian niggas and some Indian niggas doing this stuff, bro. I look, Twitter been getting exposed for that lately. So I know for a fact because people locations are getting set. So I know for a fact who these people. It's mainly Argentina. Because Argentinian niggas, for some apparent reason, since Hitler and his homeboys spread their seed around that unfortunate country, they decided to be some of the most racist people on the internet. But then again, no matter how many times you look yourself in the mirror, no matter how many times you seek Heil, no matter how many times you try to wear blue eye contacts, you still won't be them, big dog. And that goes for anybody. You know, if you defending people getting bullied for being black and cosplaying, you won't be a cracker, dog. It just won't happen. I don't care how much lotion that you will sell to make your skin white. You won't be a cracker.
They're not gonna let you hit, big bro.
No, at most you would be an Oxford study. You look up the internet what that is. I ain't gonna dwell too deep into that. At the most, that's what you would be. At the most, they're gonna be like, "Good job," but you still got to pill out when it's real white nigga hours. So, and again, bro, just leave people alone. And I hate that I had to get there, but the race issue is really, really something extremely personal to me. Now, I haven't, ain't nobody ever stepped to me on some racist stuff. Thank God, because I'd be behind bars right now. But it's something extremely personal to me. And I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being. So now this one's going to be hard to TikTok and YouTube clip if I can. But, these crackers ain't going to love you, dog. They not. They not. It is what it is, big dog. Like, and most of y'all, let me quit. I was going to go there.
Oh, yeah. Let us know your thoughts. Again, I know we get a lot of we want to celebrate gaming. We want to have these positive podcasts, but sometimes we got to have these deep conversations. This one also is definitely personal to me because I have cosplayed before. Whenever there's C2E2, which is our comic convention in Chicago that happens yearly, I like to go out and dress up as some of my favorite characters. In the years past, I dressed up as Joker from Persona 5, not the Phantom Thief attire, but their high school uniform. So I dressed up as that, and then I also this past C2E2, I dressed up as Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. Had a blast. Met a lot of cool people who wanted to take pictures with me. Who, because like I had put my hair up and I had put some pink dye on my locks and stuff like that. So like, had a really great time and I had fun. And I didn't necessarily care about accuracy as far as like, oh, I gotta have the hair and all this stuff. It's just like I just want to dress up because Goku Black is my favorite villain in Dragon Ball of all time, and I want to dress up as him. That's it. Nothing more, nothing deep about that. So again, check your racism at the door. And if you are so concerned about accuracy, then never ever look at anybody cosplaying, because guess what? They'll never be accurate.
Nope.
Ever. Even if you think, oh man, no, they won't, because there's no one in this world who's an elf.
Nope.
There's no one in this world that has Paramecia Devil Fruit that can throw strings out of their hands. So no one in this world who can actually go Super Saiyan and turn that wig into that black wig into a yellow wig in real time. So again, definitely, I know I said it before again, but rest in peace to Ashley. Let's move on so we're going to talk about this later, but also this past week we had the Golden Joystick Award winners. We talked about this at a previous podcast. We're taking a look at some of the categories and who were the potential winners, and we also made some predictions, and we were pretty much right. It was an Expedition 33 sweep, and you can actually kind of reference the Golden Joystick Awards to get a little taste of what's to come in the Game Awards, and might be the same thing. So
will be the same thing. Absolutely will be the same.
Yeah.
The Golden Joystick Awards are mostly voted on by you guys. And this is the funniest thing about that. You guys are the one that's saying Expedition 33 is overrated. The one award show that's completely voted by you guys, Expedition 33,
swept. Swept. So just to go into a couple of the nominees and the categories, let me know if there's anything else you want to add, Daytrail. So we have Best Storytelling. Expedition 33 won that, and it was going up against Silent Hill F, Blueprints, Mafia of the Old Country, Lost Records, and the 100 Line Last Defense Academy, which again, I can't believe that game got on anything, but shout out to that. The game wasn't bad, but it's such a niche game that I wasn't expecting it to get a nod for anything. Best Audio Design, Ghost of Yotei got it, and it was going up against Battlefield 6, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, 2 Point Museum, and Chronos. Let's see what else. I'm just gonna touch on some of the super ones that people were really gonna care about. Best Visual Design, which you can say is like best graphics or whatever. Expedition 33 won that. Let's see. Indie game, self-published, Hollow Knight, Silksong won that. Then we just have the best indie game period, which was Blueprints. Studio of the Year, Expedition 33 won that. Best soundtrack, Expedition 33 won that. Best game trailer, Grand Theft Auto 6, which that's probably going to win the nod for the most anticipated game, which is not that hard. It's freaking Grand Theft Auto 6. And there's a lot of other stuff. Is there anything that stuck out to you, Daytrail, that you want to talk about?
Yeah, Ghost of Yotei winning best console game.
Oh yeah,
that's really good. And
it went up against Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah. And I would say realistically the only two competitors were Donkey Kong Bonanza and Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, even Death Stranding 2 wasn't gonna beat that. So I'm surprised it's beating the Nintendo game. But I'm not really really surprised. You could definitely tell by some of the nominations how they're more focused on fanfare than they are Metacritic scores and stuff like that. Because my nigga,
because there's a lot of games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of games on the Golden Joystick nominees that would have absolute zero chance of getting into the game of the Game Awards. Just Mafia Old Country, 100 Line Last Defense Academy, games like that are not getting a nod at the Game Awards. It's just not. So it's really cool to see that even though they're similar, there's a little bit of some discrepancies between the two as well. And then to wrap things up, we do have the ultimate game of the year. So Expedition 33, of course, won. In second place, Kingdom Come Deliverance was second place. Split Fiction was third. Hollow Knight Silksong was fourth. And Death Stranding was in fifth place. And then all of the nominees of the entire list were Death Stranding 2, Peak, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Expedition 33, Blueprints, Silent Hill, F, Ghost of Yotei, Split Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Hades 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Hollow Knight Silksong. It's way bigger list than the Game Awards. And even with all of those nominees, because I know a lot of people who are like, oh, this game should have been the Game Award nominees and all this other stuff, Expedition 33 still came out on top. So again, it's just a prelude of things to come during the second week of December. Yeah. So let us know what your guys' thoughts are below. As far as you can check this out on your own. Just search up Golden Joystick Award winners. You can look at there's a bunch of categories. Again, mainly Expedition 33 suite, but let us know your thoughts on that on the comment section below. And then we have the Game of the Year nominees. Daytrail has a very impassioned rant in regards to one of the categories that we're going to be talking about. But yeah, we have all of our nominees finally, with the exception of the Player's Choice. That kicks off start of December. So obviously we're not going to know anything. So this is your chance. If you're somebody who's in any one of these gaming communities that believe that their game should have got the nod, that should have been on any one of those lists, this is your chance to rally your community to upvote and get some representation to a game that you think deserves to get recognized for greatness. So, you know what? I've been talking too much. I've been yapping too much. Daytrail, go ahead. So we'll talk about all of the categories, but there's one particular category that Daytrail is, because put a disclaimer out there. Me and Daytrail realistically, we don't put much stock into the Game Awards. So like, we're doing this for content's sake, but like at the end of the day, we're not like super like, oh my God. Like if Expedition 33 does not win Game of the Year, I'm not going to be up here going like, what? Huh? Like, I
mean, it give us something to talk about.
It just give us something to talk about. Like, oh snap, there's a game that actually beat Expedition 33. But realistically, I wouldn't get like Expedition 33 is my personal Game of the Year. Nothing is going to change that, regardless of whatever awards have to say anything about that. So just put that disclaimer out. But best performance. So Daytrail, go ahead and give us a little bit of context as to what you're about to describe.
So a little bit later we'll talk about all the other ones, right? But I'm very passionate about best performance because this was the one award that I personally had stock in. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would have put all my money on one nominee. So I think everybody in this performance, from all the Expedition 33 people,
3 people from Expedition 33 got the nod for this performance.
The 3 people from Expedition 33 got the nod. And definitely, I can't think of her name right now, but the wonderful lady who played
Mayo.
No, the Ghost of Yotai. She's in it.
Oh yeah, Erica.
But like I said, this voice acting or best performance is extremely personal to me. Not because I'm a voice actor. No, it's because I personally believe that there was no one better than Troy Baker as Higgs, bro. I don't care how much people hate Death Stranding 2. I don't care how much people talking about, oh, it's just a Kojima foot simulator. Oh, it's just a walking simulator. Oh, it's just all cutscenes. Oh, you only delivering packages. There's no gameplay. I don't care what you're saying. Troy Baker as Higgs was by far the best performance out of everybody. And I mean, me, I'm a Death Stranding fan. Platinum both of the games. Literally preach Death Stranding like I'm Paul in Rome talking about the word of God, bro. I almost felt like I should be in jail how much I told how many people to subscribe to Hideo Kojima's word of God, which is Death Stranding. Like, I love that game so much. It's somewhere right here in my heart. So when I was playing 2 and I saw the absolute performance that Higgs did, I was like, oh yeah, he won. I wasn't even thinking about Death Stranding being nominated for a Game of the Year award. Care less about that. Playing Expedition 33, nigga, 30 hours in, I was like, this one Game of the Year. So I was literally like, man, Higgs was by far the best performance. He got to get at least a nod. And when I saw my man Jeff up there, and he went to that best performance category, and he went all the Expedition 33 people, I was like, all right, cool. And it was like he personally stabbed me in the heart. Because at last, he said Troy Baker. And I'm like, let's go for Indiana Jones DLC. And I'm like, what? I was livid. Mind you, I'm looking at these nominees at work. I'm sitting in the company car like, that's cool, that's great. And I start punching a horn once he said it. I'm like, yo, that's not the case. Troy Baker as Higgs, by far the best performance of this year. And if you don't believe me, I want you to go on YouTube and I want you to look up Death Stranding 2 BB's theme sung by Higgs, or Higgs singing BB's theme, and you will see why I say that. Okay? By far, the best scene in that whole entire game. And then, even if you don't get the context of that scene, you'll still be like, man, this is cool as heck. And that's because of Troy Baker as Higgs. So I'm going to get off my high horse. I can say worse things, but like I said, after what y'all somewhat did to me for the Steam thing or the Steam take, I'm going to chill out on certain things on this podcast just a little bit till the heat died down on me. But I promise you, there is no better performance than Troy Baker as Higgs. There is no better performance. I kid you not. The Verso was cool. That's a nice second place. Mael was wonderful. Cool third place. Shorty from Ghost of Yote, congratulations. I'm gonna give you that 4 right there, big dog. Higgs won in every which way, in my opinion, in my heart. So Troy Baker, if there's a chance you're looking at this, brother, you got did wrong, even though you got a nomination for another court.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care. He got the nomination.
I'm pretty sure him sitting on his buku of money, and that's just the Uncharted money he's sitting on. He ain't sitting on everything else. He's just sitting on the Nathan Drake money. I'm pretty sure him sitting on the Nathan Drake money, he like, it is what it is, big dog. I didn't won plenty of awards, so.
Right.
But that's my little rant, man. But I would love to go across some of these things that you can, a couple of them, and ask you, who do you think is the winner? Even though 9 out of 10, you might just say Expedition 33. So I want to ask you, because you, other than me, even though we both suck at this, you more than me play these type of games. And this category, by far, is the worst category next to the adaptations when it comes to nominees. Who do you think is the best fighting game of the year?
Fighting game? There's a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. There's a lot of categories on here that are just like duds. We'll talk about it. This one is one of the duds, in my opinion, bro. Like, I know some people are gonna get mad at me who are fighting game aficionados, but like, I mean, I don't care. I heard nothing but bad things about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I heard that was trash. I heard the Capcom Fighting Collection is cool, but it's like, you've already played these games before, so I mean they're awesome, but like cool. 2XKO, I've heard some decent things about the game, but like it didn't get, I'm assuming it didn't get the push that a lot of people were expecting it to get, as far as like that, like, oh man, this is it. This is fighting game, even though it was promoting itself like that. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves kind of had a botched release, but I did hear that it got a lot better. And there's a lot of things, like I know Chun-Li is coming out as a character soon. And a lot of the Gooners saw that one trailer with her and Mai. Hey, really good, but I mean, and then Virtual Fighter, I'm gonna keep it a buck. So yeah, I would say it's probably a toss up between 2XKO and Fatal Fury, maybe Capcom, but I it is what it is with that award.
Oh God!
All right, what else you got?
You know what? I want to kind of talk about this one, and I want to give my hot take for the Game Awards, and I want to give this one right here. Everybody believes Expedition 33 is going to sweep everything, right? Mm-hmm. My hot take for the Game Awards is that for the best RPG category, Kingdom Come Deliverance is actually going to beat Expedition 33 when it comes to being an RPG. I absolutely, if it's any game that's going to beat Expedition 33 in any other category, it will be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for the best RPG. I think this game right here, it is so much of an RPG that it makes you mad, bro. I've been playing it for the last couple of weeks. You want to know how much of an RPG it is? When you go on Google to find out how to beat a quest, the guy, in the comment section, he'd be like, bro, this is the 15th video I have to watch to beat another quest, bro. You are this game is got so much depth in it that you will sit there and be like, okay, this is a real RPG. If you fall from a cliff, you not only will lose a little bit of health, you'll break your ankles. If somebody hits you with a blunt weapon on your head, you will get a concussion. You have to eat. You have to go to sleep. You can't just talk to people and be like, oh, I didn't steal your pouch. You actually have to learn how to speak to people. This game is an RPG's RPG. The combat is it takes some time to get into. The story is really good. The story is really good. I thought the story was going to be a weak part for this game. It's really freaking good. So even though it's not my favorite game of this year, it is by far the best RPG for this year, guaranteed. So
I would counter that by saying this ultimately is dependent on what is your definition of an RPG, because Kingdom Come Deliverance is a good Western RPG.
But
emphasis on Western RPG, because people don't know there's a lot of RPG has a lot of subcategories. Yeah. So while Kingdom Come Deliverance is the best Western RPG, Expedition 33 is the best turn-based RPG, and there's no argument against that. Period.
Yeah, and I think
you're not going to sit up here and tell me that anything different. So it depends on whatever that jury vote is. It very much depends on, because in case you don't know, 90% of the 10% is 10% player vote, 90% jury vote, as far as what determines who gets the nod for the rewards in the game awards. So it really does depend on whoever is voting within that circle, what they define to be, best RPG. Is the Western,
you know what I think
turn-based.
is gonna. You know what I think the argument is gonna be in that room when they voted. I think the two things that that's gonna make them clash heads in terms of which one is the best, because it's between these two. Really, it ain't. Yeah. There's no Outer Worlds 2.
Outer Worlds, Monster Hunter, and Avowed have no chance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it literally has no chance. So, if you look at the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 side, they have a great in terms of playing a role, like getting immersed in the role and character of Henry, right?
Right.
If you look on the Expedition 33 side, and we talk about turn-based RPG-wise, Expedition 33 does a good job at building what you want to do in terms of skills and stuff like that. Building that character. What Mael, you can create her to a walking nuke. What you can do with Verso. What you can do with I can't say these people names, but all those people over there. I think what they did, the depth in the combat of Expedition 33 can give the edge, because that combat has depth. If you are one of the people who just said, let me go on a YouTube video and see what's the best build, you kind of missed out on what made that combat that really good.
You really can do a lot of things in that game.
You can do a lot. You don't have to go on YouTube to see, hey, what's the best build. I think the perfect character for that is I forget the one that does magic. Her name.
I think it starts with the L. Yeah, I'm terrible with names too, chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But when it involves those stains, dog. The amount of things you just do with that in general and how it helps you and the different type of stains. It's the depth of that is crazy. So I do agree with you. It depends on what they define RPG, and it's really up to them, because
RPG.
If you're looking for just strictly role playing, kind of like how Baldur's Gate did it. If you were looking for just strictly role playing, I'm making or Skyrim back in the day, I'm a Nord, I do Nord things, stuff like that. Then you kind of go towards the Kingdom Come side. But if you're looking for on the gameplay side of character building and stats and the tactician side of JRPGs, then I think Expedition 33 is kind of like an early 2000s, late 90s JRPG love child. Like that's what it is. Like they created something like off of a Final Fantasy VII, a Chrono Trigger, those type of games. So it's a big fight. But that's why I say it's my hot take. Because when I tell you, Expedition 33 is gonna be punching niggas in the face.
Y'all gonna get mad because we go talk about. Oh no, that's another 2020 with the when The Last of Us 2 that game award.
I can't wait. That's probably next week when we talk about because I'm gonna have to condense it. Because we ain't got that many. So I might not do like the later years. I might stop at 2022 or 2020.
Yeah, because that was another one. A lot of people were very, very frustrated.
Niggas mad, bro. I remember it because me and you ain't playing it. We were just like, why niggas so angry?
we were just kind of like, again, because at a certain point, when you get to, I don't even know if it's an age thing. When you just reach a certain level of maturity, you just understand that the Game Awards, in and of itself, is just a huge popularity contest.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about like the depth or how good a game is. It's just more so how often was this game talked about. And regardless of your thoughts and opinions of Expedition 33, no matter what game you talked about throughout this entire year, you would always land on the, is this game better than Expedition 33?
Yep.
that was it. So, is what it is. We talked about dunks category, like dud categories. This is another one. Best adaptation. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. This is like, I think I forgot which one I voted for when I did my stuff. But like, so we have a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Last of Us Season 2, Splinter Cell Death Watch, and Until Dawn. So I can speak on a Minecraft movie. It wasn't bad. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and like, oh, the movie was terrible. But like, my homie, because Beano's, if there's one, so one of our homie, I'm not gonna air him out like that. But Beano's is a lot more forgiving when it comes to certain mediums than I would be, and he rage quitted off this movie. So I thought the movie was okay, but it's like I don't care. Devil May Cry is the prime example of wasted potential. It was like, okay, I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, all right, you might be cooking with something, but my God, y'all missed the mark on several occasions with this show. I don't even want to get, because I forgot this thing existed. I forgot this thing came out this year until I saw this category, and I got mad seeing it on this list. It does not deserve to be on this list whatsoever. I'm sorry. Like, if it just really stuck to that, because it was a lot of references to Devil May Cry 3. Obviously, they did a lot of references to Devil May Cry 5 because that's very popular when it comes to Virgil's character and stuff like that. But like, man, you missed the mark with Lady. You missed the mark with Dante. You made him Nero when he's supposed to be Dante. That one episode where, just like the conversation we have to have when it comes to how Demon Slayer ruined anime when it comes to anime movies, we have to have that conversation with, I think it's Arcane, when it comes to animated shows having the no dialogue but music pieces in the background episode playing. Because they did that with Devil May Cry and it was so bad. You tried so hard, dude. You were just like, I'm looking at this episode, it's like you are so desperate to get an award, bro. That episode was a waste of time. It was so bad. I can't speak on Last of Us Season 2. Datro, that's on you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. Splinter Cell Death, don't even know what that show is. Hey, maybe that's the best show.
Hey,
maybe that's the best show.
Chance, Ubisoft.
Hey, maybe that was the best show. And Until Dawn, people freaking hated this movie because it had nothing to do with the original source.
Let me keep it big with you. Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Last of Us 2, all mid. The reason this category is so wild, that Until Dawn movie on Rotten Tomatoes got a crazy score. Like on audience and critics alike. In terms of bad, it was a horrible score. So why would they put
they
that?
had nothing else to add. That's how bad this year was for adaptations. They're waiting for next year when Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy, the Fallout show,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff comes out. But Jesus Christ, this is probably the worst category in
Hands down.
the bunch.
This is like the most nothing burger. I don't care who wins this award. No, in my opinion, nobody on this list deserves the award.
Nah, Jeff Keighley. You know when we gonna see that award? Usually that award has a stage. Like a
and this gonna be the and now
it's gonna be on the side, bro.
And now announcing the best adaptation yet.
I got a question for you. On the best mobile game category, Une Musume or Wuthering Waves, who winning?
Oh, Umamasame, or however Jeff Keighley pronounced that stuff. So this is another category that there's been a lot of talks within the mobile gaming community. So it just vastly again, because everybody, if you've heard discussions about this, realistically, there's only two worthy winners in that list, which is Musume Pretty Derby and Wuthering Waves. Destiny Rising, I haven't heard anything about that game. Persona 5 The Phantom X could have been solid, but if you play, I still fairly regularly play the game. Like I log in every now and then to see what's happening. They lost me. Literally, the funny thing is that the very first patch that came out, version 1.1, is when it was like, okay, this game isn't what I thought it was going to be. So no, it's not going to win. Sonic Rumble, I haven't heard too much about that game. I did hear that like when it came out, it got like 15 million downloads, so like it was fairly popular at release. But ultimately, the two games that were of quality, in my opinion, are Musume Pretty Derby and Wuthering Waves. Now, there's two sides to this. I'm going to be real quick about this because this is some nerd stuff. I know we're nerds, but this is some super nerd stuff. The argument is very similar to what we just talked about recently, Detrail, with the Western RPG versus turn-based RPG. What do you think gets the nod more? A game like Wuthering Waves that has an emphasis on like it's a Genshin. I know people are gonna get mad. It's a Genshin like open world, combat, story driven, character driven as well. The thing that it has over something like Genshin is really there's a lot of quality in Wuthering Waves. Story, even though I personally cannot tell you everything that's happening in that story, it is very the presentation of the story is absolutely phenomenal. Like genuinely, I'm talking about like you see some of the cutscenes in that game. It is like stellar work. The combat in that game is genuinely. I've already told you guys on the podcast, I don't care about open world games, and I don't care about the open world parts of Wuthering Waves. But that combat is really good. It is very addicting. It is high tamed. You are, focused on it, and it's really good. Graphics are amazing. Environmental detail is amazing. Music is amazing. So all in all, it is very quality product. However, in my own personal opinion, Wuthering Waves has some good patches this year, but it wasn't anything, in my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. It wasn't anything too crazy to write home about. Like a lot of people were even disappointed with the first year anniversary patch that came out because it wasn't really up to snuff, according to a lot of people who played the game. It wasn't. They were expecting a lot more, and they didn't really deliver it on that part. So I think Wuthering Waves was, consistent quality, but nothing too stand out in my opinion. Now you have Musume Pretty Derby, which came out and did numbers. Even if you've never heard, even if you don't play mobile games, you've heard of Musume. You've seen somebody play something with horse girls racing and singing concerts. It was a global success like none other before, and it did well. Now, if you look at it from Musume is a fairly simple game on the outside, right? Your main goal is doing career modes and raising your Umas because it's like a horse racing simulator. You're raising them, you're getting stat allocations, you're getting skills, aptitudes, you name it. You do a little career mode, you get to find out a little bit more about their character and their story. But in terms of if you look at someone play the game, it's very simple. But it has a level of depth that, like, if you just think that, like, because there's a PvP mode in the game. If you just think that, I can get into it, you're going to get smoked. If you don't know how to play the game, you're going to get smoked. So it's like one of those things where it's like consistent quality over like overnight global sensation. That's kind of what determines it. Now, if you're asking me personally, I'm giving it to Uma Musume because I was not expecting. As of this moment, guys, I have like 350 hours into Uma Musume. It came out this year, and I almost have 400 hours into the game. I love this game. It's a gacha game, so obviously there's this inherent, like, yes, it's a gacha game. It's slimy. We get it. But the gameplay, the level of depth to the game, the waifu factor, it gets the nod, in my opinion. But I can see, I'm not mad. Whoever wins this, I don't care. If I can put it in a non-yap version, I don't care. Whoever wins, I think deserves it. Wuthering Waves or Uma Musume, they're both good games. But yeah, that's and then is there anything? Oh, do want to talk about this real quick before we get into the Game of the Year award nominees. But so the best debut indie game. So there was a news story that broke out earlier this week where one of the nominees, the person that was behind Megabonk, actually reached out and said, like, hey, you know, I'm glad that you guys gave me the nod, you know what I'm saying, but remove me from this category because this is not my debut indie game. So Jeff responded and they took the game out of the list. So hey, W integrity, W accountability, that's really good. You honestly, you doing that just gave you so much like you gave you so much love to where people are like, now people who didn't check out your game before are going to check out your game just because like you're someone of integrity when it comes to that space. So just wanted to break that little news story out. But best debut indie, it's kind of unfortunate because like it low-key kind of sucks that Expedition 33 is an indie game. It is technically an indie game, but it's like, dang.
I don't think it'll win though. I think in that situation, I think even though it's technically the best indie game, I think they would be like more traditional indie. Like debut, you know, we ain't never heard of these people before. Again, these are ex Ubisoft devs, I think they got some CD Projekt Red devs in there and stuff like that too. These are ex developers who created a company. They were just independent.
It would have to be between Blueprints and Despelote.
Yeah, I don't know what
it can't. If by that logic, it can't be Dispatch because Dispatch is in association with Critical Role. It also has people who worked on Telltale games. So,
but I think they give that the nod. I just mean like
if they're giving that the nod, then you have to give it to Expedition 33 too.
Well, what I'm trying to say, I think like
because those are people. If again, Dispatch these are people who are known within Telltale.
Known to work.
This is Critical Role collaboration. So if we're giving the nod to Dispatch, got to give the nod to 33.
Yeah, so you know, but I do think it goes to Blueprints. Saying all that, I think it goes to Blueprints.
It did win it in the Golden Joystick Award.
Yeah, because what I mean by that is when you look at a game screams indie. When you talk about indie games, when you looked at Megabonk, I'm like, yo, that's an indie game, dog. You know, you go to Games Pass. When you look at Baldur's Gate, even though that's Larian is not an indie studio, but it was a smaller studio, ain't nobody looking at Larian being like, yeah, they part of this small guys win. They're like, bro, them some big dogs. They just ain't got as much money as EA. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, bro, Blueprints is probably made by like 4 people. Expedition 33 was made by more than 33 people. Like this. So when I'm looking at that, like if this was like Silk Song, like the first one, yeah, of course, that's it. But Expedition 33, day one on Game Pass, all that type of stuff, like it was known. Blueprints literally came out of nowhere and had people addicted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
and this is for best debut. There is another best indie game category, period, which has like Ball Pit, Absalom, Blueprints, Expedition 33.
And that's what Expedition 33 versus
Expedition 33 is most. I would say Expedition 33 is Silk Song for this one.
Yeah, that's what I say. Them two head over that. Yes, cool. But I just don't. To me, and I know by definition that's an indie company. But do you call AA studios indie companies?
True, because a lot of people do refer to Expedition 33 as a AA game.
It's a AA game. Do we call AA studios indie companies? Right. Because I'm pretty sure going forward, these niggas gonna have financial backings from PlayStation, from Xbox going forward.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
gonna happen. So
these game companies are gonna reach out and go like, "Hey, what y'all need to be exclusive to us?"
Yeah, so like it's gonna happen. And I'm not, I hope that don't come off as hate. Again, I'm sorry for the tone of my voice. If when I praise something, it kind of sound like hate, but I hope it don't come off as hate before these Expedition 33 goons kill me. We love y'all game, bro. I just don't think I don't think it's indie.
We literally been saying across the podcast it's going to be an Expedition 33
scene. Yeah. I think it's going to break the record. I don't know if we're at the record yet in the retrospective. No, I think that's The Last of Us 2 that won. They got the most record
awards in the single game awards.
Yeah, I think they got the most with. Again, I think it's deserving, other than like probably Game of the Year, but everything else it was better than pretty much everybody. One more, and this is one more before we go. This is for my Death Stranding homies. All 5 of us Death Stranding fans. 1 second. I forgot where it was at. Jesus. Hold on. It was another thing Death Stranding is nominated for. It's not graphics. It's not family. Not multiplayer.
Action adventure.
Oh yes, action adventure. Big dog. We have a chance. It's only Ghost of Yote can beat us, yo. We have a chance, yo.
And also, again, this is when it goes into what do you define as action adventure game?
We have a chance. That's the thing. The action adventure category, Death Stranding have a chance to come out with something. Everybody say, "Oh, only reason Death Stranding nominated for anything is because Jeff Keighley like Hideo Kojima, they're friends." I hope this friendship come through on this award, bro. Please let the friendship come through, yo.
It's abuse that nepotism.
Bro, please, dude. I will be. Again, we don't have real stock in this game award, but I would be so soft if that game doesn't come away with nothing. I feel like Spider-Man 2 fans, bro.
I'm about to say, how they felt last year.
Bro, they was in dog walk. I was laughing all the way, but I feel like Spider-Man 2 fans, bro. I really do. I mean, I really will. So, this is the only one. Please win. It probably won't, because they say it's 2 things that the Game Award bias got. It's the Hideo Kojima and it's Sony. I think that Sony bias
and Nintendo.
And Nintendo, yeah. Nintendo got games on that.
We're going to talk about it in the retrospective, bro. There's a huge bias when it comes to Nintendo.
Yeah, there was someone like, I don't know about that one, Nintendo, but okay. I look back on the game here. Something else could have been right there. But let's get to the retrospective.
Yeah, so just one last thing. So we didn't talk, but like the game of the year, in case you're living on the rock, these are the games that got nominated. We have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. One thing that I do want to call out, though, is that 3 of the nominees on this list are indie games, and I think that needs to be celebrated. I think this year alone really has proven that a lot of people who play video games or in the gaming community, we're tired of the season pass, battle pass, microtransactions, all that stuff. We just want to play a good game. And there's a lot of, this has been consistent throughout the years, but like indie gaming studios, like people who are passionate about gaming, who want to be able to release something that they're passionate about and not abuse a lot of the things that a lot of AAA gaming and major gaming publishers do in terms of treating their customers like wallets. It just make a good gaming product. And so it's really nice to see that. And that's why a lot of people just don't understand the significance of why Expedition 33 getting so much praise is a good thing, is because, dude, this is an indie game. This is an indie game that is getting nods over like major game publishers. And we aren't talking about, this isn't just a year where like mid came out. This is a year where like a lot of freaking great games came out. And regardless of whatever game you're talking about, people are going like, okay, yeah, your game's good, but is Expedition 33 good? So want to call that out. Again, let us know your thoughts down below. What do you have stock in for the Game Awards? What do you think about some of the categories that we talked about? If there's anything that we missed, and also for the Player's Choice Award, what gaming community, what set you repping? What game you want? What game you want to get the nod for Player's Choice? Let us know in the comment section down below, and let us finally wrap things up with again continuing on our main topic discussion when it comes to previous Game of the Year awards. We're doing this retrospective. So again, previous episode we talked about 2017, 2016. Episode before that we talked about 2015, 2014. So if you want to hear our thoughts on that, click on those podcast videos. It's on our playlist on our channel. So starting off with the Game Awards for 2018. Now I said, because the funny thing is I said last year because 2017 was a crazy year. This next 2 years are also very crazy. So 2018. So we'll talk about some other categories, but like the main thing being the Game of the Year category. Here's the nominees. We had God of War, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2, with God of War winning Game of the Year that year. So, Detrill, yes or no?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think, and I love both of the two big dogs out the group, which is Red Dead and God of War. I love the two big dogs out the group. But I think God of War did something that Red Dead didn't have to do. The expectation for Red Dead to be good, and they beat that expectation, yes, it was going to happen. But God of War had the expectation to make a great game from back in the day to remake that and pretty much Sonyfy it, which over the shoulder, third person view and stuff like that. And they hit it out the park. Like, I think to this day, because so many people are game critics these days, that people forget how great both of those games were to me. Like, I think people forget, Red Dead got his glazers, as it should. It's an amazing game. But I think people forget how great God of War is.
God of War was really good.
It's really good. At that time, it was really good. Like, it's amazing. Looking back on our eyes now, we got great combat in almost every game that we have. That comes out, or every game look good graphically, or there's a lot of great narrative-driven games that's coming out more and more. Back then, God of War was like, dang, I didn't know you can, create a character like Kratos like this. So it was great. It was them two games right there, man. Like, they had two great main leads in Kratos and Arthur Morgan. They had two great stories. They had, the gameplay for both of those games was great. Somebody on TikTok pissed me off, and I'm gonna let you go after I say this. Somebody on TikTok pissed me off when I was reading the comment section, because they had the nerve to say, Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay wasn't all that. I'm like, it's a cowboy game. What do they want this nigga to pull out a calling card and say Persona for them?
I don't know, but my favorite thing was doing the horse chasing.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part.
You can literally do the trolley experiment in that game. You can tie somebody on a railroad track, or tie 5 people on a railroad track and say which one you want to murder. That game also had some crazy gore for a freaking console game. That gore is insane, and for a realism game at that too. So it was two great games. I know a lot of hindsight and stuff like that, and revisionist history comes with those two games. God of War, it was just a button masher, in terms of combos and stuff like that. And Red Dead was boring. So I know a lot of revisionist history talk about them two games, but for me,
no, those two games were good. But it's not even to give slack to the other games too, because I know a lot of people hate on Ubisoft now, deservedly so. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey was one, as far as a lot of people who play Assassin's Creed, they actually really like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is looked at like one of the last, that, and I believe Valhalla, I might be misremembering, but like those people actually liked Odyssey when it had came out, because this was the first time that they kind of restructured the way they handled Assassin's Creed when it comes to the gameplay and even the story, as far as like that stuff is concerned. Celeste, that was a platforming indie game that a lot of people liked. It was fairly popular. I remember a lot of people talking about that. Marvel Spider-Man. This year we got God of War and Spider-Man, and we talk about the funny thing is Spider-Man is a game. Marvel is a game I find myself often going back and replaying. It's just that good, in my opinion. I think like we talk about combat, bro. The combat in Spider-Man to this day, because like I'm not playing it as much as I did, but like a little bit earlier this year, I was playing because I have on my Steam Deck. Obviously, I bought Spider-Man, and I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, and I'm like, dog, this combat is really freaking good. Like the combat in Spider-Man was so fun, just flicking people in the air, webbing them up. The dialogue when you're like, he's in the air, shoot him. It's just like, and you're just like, the game really made you, and it's kind of like the thing when people talk about the Batman Arkham games, where it's like, oh, this game makes you feel like the Batman. Spider-Man and even Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man 2, the game makes you feel like Spider-Man. You really feel like the web slinging, everything, even the story, the villain ensembles that you meet in that game. Everything in that game was just really freaking great. Obviously, God of War and Red Dead 2 just being monster releases kind of eclipsed it. But like that's not to. It's basically to me. It's literally saying like if Spider-Man is like, to me, is like a 9 or like as close to a 9.5 or whatever out of 10 to like God of War and Red Dead Redemption being a clear 10 out of 10. And then that's not to mention Monster Hunter World.
Yo, that is probably now if we do revisionist history, that might, if Monster Hunter World came out with Iceborne together, that might have won Game of the Year if that was just one game. You know what I mean? One game,
hands down.
That would have won Game of the Year.
Because
Monster Hunter World, I think Wilds and Spider-Man 2 is kind of in the same boat because they have unobtainable like goal to live up to. They would never be as good as that one. Like the Spider-Man 2 has such a hard, you had grip. As much
as I love Spider-Man 2, I will always find a way to go back to play Spider-Man 1.
Yeah,
I can't.
Along with Miles having a garbage suit, there was no reason to play Spider-Man 2. It was so. It's looking back on, it's like, dang, like Spider-Man 1 had so much. Like
it was so good.
They did so much with that one game that Spider-Man 2 felt like a DLC to that one game. So looking back on, it's like, dang, bro. But when it comes to Monster Hunter Wilds, like Wilds is a great game. Everybody know that. Like it's a good game. We kind of fell off of it, but people still play it. It still got hunts. We'll probably play it when the expansion come out, when the next expansion come out. But Worlds, we put time in that one, dog.
We put work hours into World.
Yeah. It came from most of the time, all the other Monster Hunter games were mostly on portable systems and stuff like that. So, of course, somebody like me didn't get a chance to play all those when I was growing up. So, man was like new shiny candy when I first played Worlds. But it's still like amazing. That was an amazing game. That's one of them years that you look back and be like, gaming was amazing. We had so much fun.
Yep. Ni no Kuni 2 also came out this year. Octopath Traveler also came out this year.
Underrated.
No Man's Sky. Oh no, was that when they had to come back? When was it? When
they had to come back probably. They had to come back probably. If it's debut year, they had to come back probably.
Oh, this is best ongoing game.
Oh, that's best ongoing.
Maybe that was the comeback.
Yeah, it had to be the comeback. Then it had to be the comeback. It had to be. That's the only thing. Because No Man's Sky was probably one of the worst releases to this day.
Oh yeah. And then another game that came out this year was Dragon Quest 11, which is
another extremely underrated game, bro.
Hey, literally, if you ever have a conversation with anybody who claims that they play turn-based RPGs, as far as like, and we have a conversation about modern turn-based RPGs, and Dragon Quest 11 is not in their list. I'm not talking about like a top 10 list. I'm just talking about when we talk about like best modern turn-based RPGs, and Dragon Quest 11 is not on your list. You don't know ball. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that game was long, bro.
It was long, and it was so it was so polished. Like, it was such a quality game, like something that you would not like if you played any of, and not to say that none of the old Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior games or whatever were not of quality, but there's a sharp jump in quality from like Dragon Quest 10 to 11. Like, it is like whatever, and probably the reason why Dragon Quest 12 is in development hell right now, because they want to recapture the freaking success and just hype that 11 generated, because a lot of people got into Dragon Quest through 11. So this year alone was absolutely insane. But yeah, let us know you guys' thoughts. Do you think God of War, what do you think as far as the game of the year or any of the other categories? Do you think they still hold up, or do you think there's an argument for something else now that we have a little bit of that context? And now moving on to 2019. So this is another crazy year in gaming. So the game of the year nominees for this year were Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Control, Death Stranding, The Outer Worlds, Resident Evil 2, and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. And Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice won. This is a crazy year too. This is also a slightly controversial year too, because Resident Evil 2, this was obviously the remake, and people had the argument of, oh, do remakes deserve to be on here? Whatever. Ultimately, you know, it was proven that remakes do belong. I do think that remakes deserve to be on there, but
if it's good enough,
but like that how kind of how to start the whole controversy. But in my opinion, do I think Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice deserves the nod? Yes. To this day, as someone who's played a lot of Soulsborne games, a lot of Souls games, to this day, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is my all-time favorite Souls game ever. Nothing has come close to it. As much as I love Elden Ring, I'm telling you, there is something different about playing that game, and you are going up against the boss and you're ching, 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 ching. Like, it is just so good. I know Souls games aren't necessarily like hugely praised for its story. It's more so about the gameplay, but the story is kind of cool. The boss battles, the set pieces, the music, everything in that game absolutely freaking nailed it. And even from the perspective of it being a Souls game, it was such a different take, because this was a Souls game where you weren't like allocating stats or anything like that. It was just more so like you really had to understand the core mechanics of the game, of like the parrying, countering, all that stuff. This was a game that really tested how much you could pay attention and utilize a lot of the things that the game gave you. So in my opinion, even though there's some monsters on this list, I know Control was a big game that a lot of people liked. Death Stranding, you know, you had a lot of the controversy when it first released, but obviously looking back on it now, a lot of people look favorably upon Death Stranding 2. The Outer Worlds being a return to form from Obsidian, the people who made Fallout New Vegas, which is regarded as the best Fallout game ever. Resident Evil 2, to this day, as far as remakes are concerned, it's between this and now 4, in my opinion, but a lot of people loved the remake of Resident Evil 2. They did a fantastic job with that. And then you have Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, which, like, regardless how you feel about it, it's freaking Smash Brothers, and it's to this day it's probably the best Smash Brothers that ever came out. Like, it was really freaking good, and it sold like hotcakes on the Switch. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Citra, what do you think?
I I agree with you. I you know, not to really go on. I didn't have no. It's funny, even though Death Stranding on here, I don't have a dog in this fight. I think Sekiro, when you look at what makes Game of the Year, impact, being a good game, critics love it, players love it. You know, I think this is crazy because I think PlayStation went on a crazy streak of like Game of the Years from like now until from then until like pretty much now. They went on like a crazy streak of just winning every other Game of the Year. But you know, I think Sekiro, Xbox players still want to play that game. That should tell you as much as you know.
It is so good, man. It's so good.
I really wish we can. You know, I think when it comes to exclusivity, when it comes to video games, I think the talk is always overrated. Of like, you know, which console has the most exclusives. Because when you talk about AAA games, not that many consoles release a bunch of AAA exclusives every year. I mean true AAA games, not big studio made another game. I'm talking about like, we put 90% of our gaming budget into this game. Not that many games come out this year, but back then, bro, it was so many just blockbusters coming out that. And it was good, and it made studios be like, we might have to take our time while making these games. So it's taking longer now to get these games. But such a good year, such a great year. Shout out to Control. I fall asleep every time I play that game, but it was absolutely beautiful.
This is also the year Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. This is also the year the Iceborne expansion came out. This is also the year that Fire Emblem Three Houses came out this year, and it won Best Strategy Game.
Yo, what won Best RPG?
Disco Elysium.
Oh, okay. Look,
they
got some shooters, bro.
A lot of people love that game, and I'm not gonna argue it. They deserved it. There you go.
I'm good. They got some shooters, big dog.
That's what the psychological came out this year. This is a really, really great year. And then the players, I should probably listen to the players' voice. Fire Emblem Three Houses ended up winning.
Wait, for players' choice?
Players' choice, yeah. Fire Emblem Three Houses won. Because honestly, I was surprised because I was like, I feel like Fire Emblem. Oh yeah, because that's what I was like, man, why isn't Fire Emblem on the list for Game of the Year? But I was happy that it did win strategy game. But another crazy year. Let us know so your thoughts as far as Game of the Year nominees. Do you think Sekiro still deserves the nod, or do you think somebody else needs to be up there? We want to hear your thoughts. We want to interact with you. And with all that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. So let us know, again, any of the topics that we talked about this episode. Let us know what you guys think about it. Had a lot of fun with this particular episode. Again, we're gearing up for award season. It's award season. That's all a lot of people are going to be talking about. So, let us know what you guys think about that. And again, if you stuck around for the whole video, you a real one. Appreciate you. And again, cannot stress this enough. Appreciate you watching the video. Appreciate you liking the video. And if you subscribe to the channel, again, appreciate you. But please comment. Want to interact with you. Want to engage with you guys. Want to build a community. Want to build some good conversations when it comes to this nerd stuff. So don't, feel free to leave a comment, even if it's negative. I'll respond. It might not be the response you like, but I will respond.
You will respond.
And with all that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be on the lookout for other content that is going to be dropping throughout the week on the channel. Like I said, stay blessed. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.